So how do you go to the next level? I'll answer that question. So one of the big things in Qigong and Taijiquan, is something they call Song, S-O-N-G, meaning to relax and release the mind and the body. So that's not easy, right? So there's a lot of different techniques, but I think this is a very effective one. And the reason that song is important, to relax and release, is that when you're in that state, you can affect another person much more profoundly. Yeah, so because we're like tuning forks, right? So each person resonates. So the more relaxed you are, you ever notice that? Somebody's very relaxed and centered in any situation, people gravitate towards them, or they feel more, safe or something. So here's a very simple way to learn how to do that. So for this, if you could stand up. And the idea is that you're going to squeeze and release each part of your body. But not only that, think of something like a tube of toothpaste that when you squeeze it, right, everything comes out. But from this tube, when you release, it fills up. Think of that. So squeeze your feet by tensing and squeezing your feet, and then relax your feet. Now imagine it's filling up with some healing gel, and it's filling the spaces between the bones. So try that again. Squeeze your feet and relax your feet, and it fills. All right? There's also a sinking quality to the energy. It wants to drop. So then connect to your lower legs, your calf muscles, tense them, squeeze them, and then release. And feel the sense of filling up and sinking. And to your thighs, squeeze your thighs, release your thighs. Feel a sense of filling up, on squeezing your hip area and releasing it, a sense of dropping and fullness. And squeeze your belly and release. Enjoy the sense of relaxation. Squeeze the chest muscles and let go. Make fists, squeeze and lift your shoulders and let everything drop. And maybe if you like, squeeze your face and let it go. And just notice in your body a sense of fullness, sinking, and relaxation. Right? So now, if you have a partner again, you have a partner, so have a partner. One person will be neutral, and the other person who's touching. So you'll just be neutral. So I'm going to feel like I am sending to you a wave of relaxation. So first I have to be relaxed. So I'm going to send a wave of relaxation to your right shoulder. You see how you move? And do you feel that? And then to your left shoulder. And it just dropped. Did you see that? Yeah. So we're going to do that to all the joints. So you're just neutral. I'm sending you, a wave of relaxation. So can you do that? That answers your question from earlier a little bit, right?
It's intention.
It is intention, but first you need to be in the state of relaxation. Yes, more effectively. Yeah. So you go through the joints and notice how nice that is. So you have to be really relaxed yourself, really letting go. This, by the way, comes from a guy by the name of Chester Ling, Phoenix Mountain Taijiquan. Excellent teacher.
It's hard to relax because you want to do it and you're not sure you're actually doing it correctly.
And that's why it's a practice. First, practicing. Really, we should all just practice the getting relaxed, quite a bit before we then attempt on somebody else. But I just wanted to see maybe it would work, and tell you what to do. You feel more relaxed. Here's another one. Here's another way you can do it. Okay, this is interesting. So for everybody, can I work with you? So what I'm going to do, why don't I come up front? So here's another way you can help somebody relax very quickly. Okay? So I can touch your shoulders, your shoulder blades, your elbows, and your wrists. Is that good? Okay. So what I'm going to just do is going to say, okay, I'm going to touch the shoulder. I'm going to say, let all the tension in your shoulder drop to the floor, melt, relax, soften, let go. But what I'm doing is I'm making my body as light as a feather. So first I have to teach you how to do that. So if you could all just stand there for a minute, make your body feel as heavy as lead or iron or something really, really heavy. Your whole body is really heavy, right? It's like a boulder. Now, do you feel stuck to the floor? Right? Now make your body fill it up with helium, like one of those floats. So you feel like you're lighter, 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 lighter. Feel that? You feel like you're going to float away. Just by your intention, right? So now, I'm going to make my body as light as a feather, light as with helium. And when I do this, I'm going to say, relax your shoulder. And when you relax, my body starts to be affected. My body is affected by your relaxation. And that's one of the ways I know that the other person is relaxed. So let go of tension in your elbow, and then my body starts to move. So it's like a biofeedback mechanism. Release, right? Let go of tension in your shoulder blade, right? You feel the difference, right? Let go of tension in this shoulder, let it melt, sink, good. Yeah, the elbow, good. And the wrist, let go. And the shoulder blade, let go. Now, by working together, we just released from you more tension than you would do on your own, maybe for months, right? Don't you feel a lot different? It's kind of remarkable. So once you know the technique, it's pretty easy, right? So you want to try that? Is it clear? That's just it. I'll do it to you, if you like. You can sit there. So let the tension in your shoulder feel like it's melting to the ground. Good. And let it go, let it go. Nice. Release. Good. Okay. You can do it. Let it go. Yeah. Dropping. Well, how different does that feel? Feel the difference? Where do you have pain? So you can really help each other accelerate the release of tension much quicker if you work together, right? If you know what to do. Yeah.
You can see the energy.
It's dropping. Yeah, dropping down. For this. Yeah, for this. I mean, there's other things you could do, like go in other directions, but it's following gravity, because you're letting go of tension. Tension holds you up, so you're letting it go.
I did not.
You want to see it? You want to think of it? So think of the earth as recycling it, and then give thanks, I guess.
That would be it.
Right? Interesting. So, and then there's the energy ball. So if you put your hands up like this, and you think of a ball of energy, so there's two levels to it. There's a few levels. So one, you hold your hands up like you're holding a basketball, and you think of a ball of brilliant energy. And your tongue touches the roof of your mouth behind your front teeth. That connects two major meridians, lightly touching. So when you do this, first, drop your arms for a sec. Your head is level, but your pelvis feels like it wants to drop without moving down like this. Your head stays where it is, but your pelvis wants to release. So you allow it to release rather than do it. Allow it to let go, okay? First thing, that's called Wuji standing. And this, some teachers would say, go practice that for a year and then come back. But they don't necessarily tell you what I just told you, is that your head should stay where it is, but your pelvis you allow to drop. You don't do it. So there's a lot of tension around our hips and pelvis. So if you can really tune in and just keep letting go of that, you'll discover a lot about yourself, right? So just keep doing that and doing that. And you'll discover a lot. So that's the first one. The second one, bringing your hands like so, let your arms hang and then just bend at the elbows. That's the easiest way. Later we can do this, but this is a lot easier on your shoulders. Just hang and go like that, right? Have a little space under your armpits. Now you're holding the ball of energy, and you can play with mentally turning it like a globe, turning on its axis, spinning it slowly, 1 revolution per second, 36 times clockwise. And then 36 times counterclockwise, 1 revolution per second. And then make the ball the size of an orange and bounce it from palm to palm. So this is a powerful ball of energy. bounces back and forth, palm to palm. And then you can squeeze a bundle of energy and stretch the energy. So squeeze it and stretch it. Squeeze and stretch. And these are some ways to build your energy. Then if you want to notice, how does it feel between your hands? So move in all different ways, sense the energy. What quality is it? How does it feel? And then here's where it becomes interesting. Hold your hands still, and the ball of energy is in between your hands, right? Well, don't move your hands, but in your mind, make the balls brighter, stronger, and bigger. Brighter, stronger, and bigger. Now it's twice the size, but don't move your hands. Then it's bigger, stronger, brighter. Bigger, stronger, brighter. Bigger, stronger, brighter. Bigger, stronger, brighter. What do you feel? Do you feel pressure pushing your hands? Yeah. It's your, right? So that's becomes real. Undeniable, right? Now bring your hands close to by your solar plexus, point them up a little bit, and bring them about an inch apart. Don't touch, but slowly move in a forward circle, really slow. Notice what you feel in your hands, very, very gently. And even more slowly. And then reverse direction. And then bring your hands very close to your face without touching it. And notice what you feel. And in any place you like to send energy, you can just put your hands there if you like. And you may notice your hands are warmer than normal. And if you want to have, experience the ball, so pick the one that's strongest, that was strongest, and if you have your partner again, so one person does the ball, either they spin it clockwise, counterclockwise, bounce it, or pulse it. So you would be doing that, so one of them, and then put your hands apart a little bit. Then I'm going to see if I can feel your energy ball, field, as I slowly go through. And I'll also notice if you feel when my hand goes through. So that's something you can play with and just notice, right? Feel the difference. So first get a good energy ball going, and then the other person slowly puts their hands through the middle of your energy ball. And notice what you feel.
I feel like it's slowness. Yeah, like this.
And then change roles when you're ready. Interesting? Yeah. So that's one of the ways where you can build your energy for healing. self-healing, eventually working with others. But to work with others with energy, you need, traditionally in Qigong, they treat it very seriously. It's like a PhD, and it's like becoming a doctor of Qigong healing, actually. So there's a lot to it. But I just wanted to show you something you could do for yourself. Usually at the end of that, you bring your hands over your head slowly and bring in healing energy and release any imbalances out. So you bring in healing and you release anything that's not balanced. And you do that 9 times. So just so you kind of clear your field, right? But so how do you go to the next level? I talked about the astral, then the mental level. So for this, if you can put your hands in front of you, can stay seated and just breathe gently in and out like this. And you may notice as you breathe in and out, the energy is stronger than you might feel. So now, to go to the mental level, put your mind to fill the whole room. Put your attention to fill the whole room. So notice what happens when you do that. And at the same time, have some awareness of your energy field. And if you're able to, put your attention further out, this whole building, and notice what happens to your mind. So normally when we have problems, we focus our attention on our bodies and our energy field close to our bodies, right? We're kind of within ourselves and we're kind of contracted at some level. But as soon as you put your mind out further, what happens? You saw that? Did you feel lighter? Right. Doesn't it? It makes you feel lighter immediately, right? So it's literally creating space, right? And so it's also very kind of amazing that you can do that anytime you need to. Just put your attention further out if you find yourself a little contracted, right? Simple. Now the Astral helps you to release time. This helps you start to let go of space. First, you expand the space. So to go further, pay attention to your energy again, if you would. And this time, let go of the boundaries. So there's no boundaries. All the problems, all the concerns, all the worries can dissolve in that empty space. Just let things evaporate and feel that opening and release. Interesting. That's called the Akasha level by some people. The space behind everything that exists, right? The Akasha. So there's one more level. This is from Mark Rasmus, his interpretation of the Hermetic connection to Qigong, and I find it very useful. So the next one is to go to the, you might call the spiritual light or divine light or whatever, however you conceive of your connection to the essence of your being or the universe. So for this one, you bring that feeling of emptiness or the space above your head, and then you ask with humility for the light either to come down or from within to experience it. So it's not commanding, it's asking humbly, that kind of feeling. So if you want to try that, just get a sense of that spaciousness above your head and then connect and ask for the energy and awareness of the spiritual light. All the way down through your body into the earth, grounding it, healing and realigning all the levels of your being, the causal, mental, emotional, etheric, physical, integrating, infusing your 3D experience with your spiritual energy, awareness. When you open your eyes, you'll notice things look different. Maybe it's brighter. Maybe you feel different. So what was that like for you? Yeah, that's very profound, right?
My eyes started to tear and I began salivating. Relaxation.
That's a good thing. Yeah. So your parasympathetic, started. Yeah. And that's not, is that usual, normal for you?
Salivating is not, but my tear ducts often. Yeah. But I get into that state.
Nice. So anybody else?
I open my eyes and just something like that. The whole room looks different. It looks different, it feels different. They're different. When I open my eyes after something like that, the whole room looks different and feels different. Yeah.
It's amazing. So, anybody else?
I felt very connected.
Connected. Yeah. Good. Brighter. Yeah. Yeah, that's a common experience when you go into those higher vibrational states, everything gets brighter. Probably because it is, right? So that's, so any questions about anything that I've done tonight? Yes.
So
Let
from
me give you this mic.
Sure.
So that everyone can hear. Show your questions.
Thanks. Thank you. So when I saw Qigong, it's always been seeking to find more about it, and I actually was surprised pleasantly today because I thought it would be more oriented with breath, but it's more sense of like awareness and I guess touch. Is that more unique to the Hermetic approach, or because I know you said there's many different forms, so I don't know if I was just off from what I know, or that's something that's just a deeper layer.
So most of what I showed you today was from Mark Rasmus, who's a Sifu or teacher, who's kind of an adept of Hermetics and Qigong. So he created a combination. So that was most of what I shared with you. The stuff with the fascia and touching, that's from Sifu Lin, Phoenix Mountain Qigong. Phoenix Mountain Tai Chi, sorry. And he has a whole system of his style, and he has lots of great videos. They both do. And so then there's many other approaches. But I felt like for tonight, this could be a really nice introduction, but it's not common to find this. So the normal Qigong that I did for years and years would be movements like this, you breathe, you focus, and you do this kind of thing. It's more like exercise. But I was trying to show you that what's inside this. So the fascia, opening the fascia and connecting to the fascia is inside, is what they're trying to do. And they call it tendon transformation. So changing the tendons by putting your attention, your awareness inside in a certain way. So you're not just stretching your muscles as much as you can.
That's what you said, the eternal martial art.
Internal, meaning that it focuses more on energy and your mind than just physical brute strength and speed.
Correct. Yeah, meditation.
Right?
Yeah.
So you're welcome. So there's hundreds and hundreds of different styles of movements, all kinds of movements, different ways, and they're good. But I just thought I would give you a little deeper perspective.
Yeah. No.
But that's only one. Okay, there's other styles of going deeper.
Well, I could only imagine.
So another style of going deeper is very body-based in a way, to really feel and sense, like I said, interoception, deeper and deeper, so that you can release holding patterns and start to unfreeze those patterns, so that you have a sense of fullness inside. They call it Pong in Taijiquan, or Pongjin, expansive power. That's what it means. And so they can kind of fill from the inside by releasing tension around all the joints and going deeper and deeper. So they activate the fascia, but fill it. So, and then that's a different approach, a little bit.
I have many questions, but just the last one for now. What predated each other, Tai Chi or Qigong?
Qigong, I would say. And, it's hard to know exactly because
There they are, the yin and the yang.
thousands of years,
Yeah.
but Taijiquan is a martial art that was developed through, most people say, through the Chen family, Chen village, that was a much more kind of physical looking, kind of, more lower and had explosive movements in it, and then very soft movements. So that many people believe that was the first one.
That makes sense.
And then there's other ones. The Yang family became the most popular in the world. And then there's Wu style, House style, there's, different styles, 5 major styles. But Qigong, I think, predates that, although martial arts were always happening, right?
That's why I did Tai Chi, and I loved it because I knew it was like the original martial art, and that's why again Qigong predates that because it's the meditation, mindfulness that then was put into the movement to expand it. So that's fascinating.
Yeah. The term Qigong is not what the term they used back then, They have different terms like Tao Yin, or some people say Taoist yoga, different, Neigong, which is a deeper level. Nei means inner, and Gong means a skill you develop through practice, perseverance, and patience, like Gong Fu. So the Gong in Gong Fu is the Gong in Neigong. So it means, like I said, the skill of developing something. Yeah, so it goes way back. Some people say there's the story of a great flood in China. And then after that, people danced around a fire. I think they called them the Kingdom of Wu, I think it was. And they danced around the fire and to heal themselves. And then from that came these movements. They learned what movements worked well, and in the 1970s they discovered a cave in Mont Wande or something like that. I don't know. Sorry, I don't pronounce Mandarin very well. So it was a cave where they had paintings of these different movements. And so that went back a few thousand years. So, yeah, many cultures have had ways to develop energy, like yoga, all kinds, all around the world, not just in the East, but, indigenous people all over have methods. I was fortunate to learn from some elders as well. So, yeah, there's a lot out there. Good. Yes. I'll give you a simple Qigong you can do in your chair. But go ahead.
The number 9, breaths and everything.
9 is a favorite number. Multiples of 3, usually. The big 3 are heaven, human, earth. But, numbers, some people believe are very powerful and important, right? Here's a simple, yes.
I was going to ask a question. You mentioned briefly connecting the tongue to the roof of your mouth.
Yes.
And one of the other teachers taught that, Master Chola, in Hermetic yoga. And it was for the energy flow through your body. Is that, I don't remember how you mentioned it. Yeah.
There's a channel that goes down the front of your body, the Ren channel, Ren Mai, and there's a channel that goes up the spine called the Du channel or Du Mai. And when you touch your tongue to the roof of your mouth, it connects the two.
Completes the circuit.
And it's called, that circuit is called the microcosmic orbit.
That's what you used to teach, yes. Yeah.
And so you can actually test that. It actually helps your balance as well when your tongue touches the roof. Sometimes I have people test each other. And when you touch that, that's the natural resting place of your tongue when you're not thinking about it, for most people.
Down the front, up the back?
Yeah, in general. Although there are, other versions too. They can go, but that's the normal, usual. There's so much to Qigong, so much. I can't even really begin to tell you how much there is to it. But basically, how you manage your energy, right, in daily life. And then there's levels that go deeper and deeper and deeper where you close your senses. For the monks and people who do that full time, then there's called this inner alchemy, or the transmutation of the material, the raw material of our basic energy to a higher expression. That would be called an inner alchemy, Nidan kind of techniques. And that requires real discipline, I would say.
We're moving these too close together.
Yeah.
I'll give this back to you, Bill. Oh, you don't need it.
Yeah, so when the people who get involved in Qigong deeply, they start to notice that as they develop their energy, it affects everything in their life. Like the food you eat, everything affects your energy. Your relationships may change because you're like, I don't really want that much toxic stuff, anymore. So, you become more sensitive to harmony, but not like you have to hide from people. It's just like you want to create harmony within yourself, and then you learn, well, how can I create harmony in my relationships? And that becomes part of it too. So there's food, there's how do you sleep, how do you eat, how do you think, what kind of emotions, all this, everything has energy, right? So there's much more like 5-element theory, all this stuff, which has to do with Chinese medicine talks about this a lot too, where we have different energetics and relationships to different organs and meridians. So each organ is not just an organ as we think of it in the Western. They think of it as functions and patterns and connected to pathways, meridians, energy pathways. So, for example, different emotions would affect different energy. So, your liver is on the right side, right? Anger, irritation, and frustration. If you have that too much, that can throw off the balance of that system and the energy channels. So, and then on this side you have the spleen and stomach. So, by the way, liver is considered wood energy. This is spleen and stomach. This has to do with the earth energy, and worry, thinking too much, and anxiety can throw this one off if you have it all the time, according to 5-element theory, right? And then the heart and small intestine have a connection, and they're both fire. So stress and emotional stress can really affect that. So we want to calm that down. And then for the lungs, you have sadness, and too much over a long period of time can kind of depress and pull the energy down. So that's with the lung energy and the meridians. And then you have kidneys in the back for the fear. Too much fear over a long period of time can affect those systems. So this is called 5-element theory. And there's a lot to it. How to eat to help balance it, how to meditations to balance it, even Qigong to balance it. And I'll show you one right now, real simple. So if you bring your hands here and feel like you can sit there, feel like your arms are floating in the water, and gently move to one side. Gently move to one side, float your arms out. And now you're stretching and then coming back. And then the other side. And then forward and drop your chin. Feel the middle of your shoulder blade stretch. Come back. And then down. And then both hands up. Both hands up. And then come back. Now, if it's comfortable, one more round as you do it, breathe out and breathe in. And breathe out. Breathe in. In a way that's comfortable. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Both hands up. Breathe out. Breathe in. Now, if you think about it, when you go out like this, you can think of releasing any stresses and then absorbing well-being. And release stress and tension, and healing energy comes in. Releasing, absorbing, releasing, absorbing, and then releasing and absorbing. Now just hold your hands here for a moment. Tongue touches the roof of your mouth, and let yourself get quiet and feel your whole body. Feel like your cells are vibrating with life force. And then bring your hands over your head, connect to pure healing energy, bring it down, and then release any imbalances out. And do this 9 times. And then if you would take either thumb, whatever feels right, and grab it. So this is a mudra, Tai Chi mudra. Either one feels better than the other. So find the one that works and just feel as if you're storing the essence, healing essence of the class in your dantian, your energy storage center, which is in the middle, inside. That's where your vital force is stored. Okay? Thank you.
Any other questions for Gary? I have one or two. How did you get into this and when did you do it?
That's a long story, but so I got into yoga when I read Autobiography of a Yogi when I was like a teenager, and I had some unusual experiences, and then I went on a yoga retreat for a 10-day intensive sadhana retreat, and I had some powerful, life-changing experience.
Nice.
And then I went on to seeking the truth of life kind of thing.
Beautiful.
And I ended up studying with all kinds of masters of Qigong and yoga and all kinds of things. So,
Beautiful. And how about now? I mean, do you do this for a living? And do you have workshops if folks want to get in touch with you and do more work? Do you have workshops, private sessions? Or what do you do right now?
Well, I do have a website, relaxrenew.com.
Okay.
And I say what I do, what I'm doing. I do plan to, I teach a lot in Wayne Library.
Okay.
And also in Little Falls and in Fairfield. I have some CEU classes for professionals. And so, I stay active.
Yes. Well, I mean, I know for myself, and I think I speak for a lot of people, it's a beautiful combination of understanding the exercises, but very deep feelings and connections. So I really, really appreciate it. So I want to
Thank you.
Thank you.